Hello, how are you, Mr. Peacock? You mean good luck and you're very beautiful. I think he's showing off to that peahen. She looks beautiful herself. Welcome to day 18, state of emergency here in Lisbon. It's a Sunday, it's a wet and grey day like they forecast yesterday. I've spent the morning just doing little chores around the place. I cleaned the bathroom because it needed it. I did some editing of yesterday's video, wrestling with my computer, which is running out of memory. Ordinarily, I would go out and buy an external drive to put in some of the videos that I have edited and saved on the computer. And anyway, bit of wrestling going on. I've had lunch already. It's already a bit later in the afternoon today. I thought I would talk to you now before daylight completely goes. And yes, had lunch. It was quite tasty as always. Stodgy but tasty. You sort of kind of want stodgy stuff on grey days like this, don't you? And you feel like chocolate too. And I sort of wondered, will I get out? Will I get out to buy chocolate, and will I get out at all? Because not only is it dreary and wet, but you sort of wonder how risky it is to go out when the streets are so quiet. But if I do any filming, I'll definitely show you at the end of this. And other news, I've gone through 3 toilet paper rolls already. I'm doing photo essay of my toilet paper roll usage. You sort of have to find things to do. No, not really. I mean, I have quite a lot of things to do. I was thinking today that that I do every day, talking to you, even though it does feel a little bit like I'm talking to myself, because I can't upload any of these videos because internet doesn't allow. It actually gives me something to look forward to. You know, it gives me the illusion of company, even though you're not actually here right now. You will be. You will be seeing me at some stage. So Portugal numbers have come in. So we have gone past the 11,000 mark to 11,278 confirmed cases in total so far. And 20 more cases of fatalities overnight, to a total of 295. They were sort of hoping that there was a bit of a flattening of the curve going on, but today the percentage has gone up a little bit. Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Isabel. I hope you're enjoying this series of videos I filmed in Lisbon. I am now back in Australia, as you can probably guess. Yes, I made it back home, but not without lots of adventures along the way, including my 2 weeks in hotel quarantine in Melbourne after I got back to Australia, which I also filmed. So be sure to subscribe and come back and watch those videos as I upload them. So take care and see you next time. In fact, the variation of confirmed cases, percentage increase, is quite erected, because you see in this black line on this graph that's come from a Portuguese newspaper. So it seems to be going generally down, which is great, isn't it? So that's the percentage variation from the day before of new cases. But then you see these orange sort of columns, and they are definitely, those are new cases reported, and they are definitely going up. So when will it flatten? At this stage it doesn't look very flat, but it will flatten eventually, we're all hoping. The numbers for Queensland, Australian have also come in. There's a rise of 9 cases overnight, and it's gone up to 907. So that seems pretty modest. It's a huge state, Queensland state. They're saying that despite the fall in numbers, they're not relaxing any of the restrictions, which I think is actually a good idea, because it was a bit of mayhem for a while there with all the people going to bars and 500 people allowed to gather and all kinds of nuttiness. I thought I'd talk a little bit about this plate hanging on my wall here next to that painting that I have already talked about. This plate looks a little bit intriguing, I realize, and it's a woman's face, and it almost looks like she's wearing a mask. And it's actually just a deconstructed image. It's an artist's plate, and the artist's name is João Figueiredo, and it's part of his collection called Look Into Me. And I bought it, I don't know, a couple of years ago. I don't know why I liked it. I think I liked it because it's actually image number 1. It portrays Dona Maria II, that means Queen Maria II. She was a Portuguese queen, and I remember that at the time I was researching that period in history, which is the mid-1800s, and that's when a great-great-grandfather that I have been researching, I've been researching his life as part of my family history project. He was born in 1840, and that's about the time that she was married and started having babies. But well, he was an important doctor, and it is known that he signed a death certificate. Are you there? I hope you're there. He signed my great-grandfather, who's the great-grandfather of this painter here, Manuel Amado. So my father's grandfather, he signed a death certificate for one of the kings who got killed, the last king who got assassinated. So he was he was assassinated in 1910, and that's when the Republic started here and the monarchy finished in Portugal. So he was a pretty interesting figure, my great-grandfather. So yes, I was researching that period, and so I was sort of a little bit obsessed. And I'm telling you all this today because I just know I won't be able to go for a long walk because it's grey and wet and dreary and possibly a little bit risky walking out there on my own when the streets are so empty. And so I thought I'd talk about something. I told you about my great-grandfather, whose history is fascinating to me. I know very little bit about it. So here I am again. I fixed the wispy hair thing going on. Just in time to tell you that I'll include whatever footage I do of my walk today. And yeah, I hope you're doing well, you're taking care, you're staying home, you're keeping cheerful, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. see it? Wow. Peacock is showing itself to the pigeon. This means good luck, doesn't it? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, mister. How are you? Hello, how are you, Mr. Peacock? You mean good luck and you're very beautiful. How are you going? Wow. Yes, I do love your feathers. I think he's showing off to that peahen. She looks beautiful herself. She's got a little hairdo on the top of her head. Hello, Miss Peahen. And look. Don't lose heart, Peacock. She does like you. Ah. And there you are. Ooh, yes. Let me see if I can find any feathers. Yeah, so that's the castle itself. One day I'll bring you here. I can get a residence pass and just go in without paying because I live in a county. Well, actually, I live in a borough. What would you call it? Anyway, I live here, so I can go in at my pleasure, unlike other people. Ooh, look, see, now the peahen is following Mr. Peacock. Not. Anyway. Okay, I don't think I'll go there. It's too quiet for me. This is usually bustling with people, especially on a Sunday like today. And look at it. Wow. You can hear the birds. It's beautiful though, isn't it? There's a vintage photograph of the ark, this ark, and I will include it here. Okay, there's Mr. Driver waiting for some fares to turn up. Not likely. These buses are littler than the usual ones, and that's because these streets are so narrow that they can't drive through them. And so they've made littler buses. Isn't it a lovely place? Oh my god. Oh, that was the bus. I think he's taking off. Look at this. I love it here. But I think I'll go straight back home. Maybe via the supermarket. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.